no matter what I did, attention was really on me all the time. I was really different from other people, and that made me feel bad about myself.
Welcome to the Break Time with Patty show. Katsy, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Very good, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here. And you're quite the legend in the public speaking world. But just in case our audience at home does not know who you are, I will be educating them. Katy Morin is the 2021 District 61 contest winner with her speech, Toastmasters Ruined My Life. She has made history in 2021 as the first member of the Leaders en Action Club to ever acquire the highest possible level of educational achievement, the Distinguished Toastmaster. She's the past president of the Leaders en Action Club. She is a social anxiety coach, a certified wellness coach, and a hypnotherapist. She's also a YouTuber with amazing content on how to overcome social anxiety. Check her out right here. And finally, Katsy, you're also a Toastmasters coach as well. In fact, that's how we met. I came to you for help, and you offered me your services to make my speech that was titled, "What's Wrong with You? From Here to Here." I will say no more. Katsy, tell us a little bit more about little Katsy. How are you as a child and as you were growing up?
As a child, I was very, very shy and quiet, and I didn't like to have attention on me. But I grew up in a small town where everybody is white and I'm mixed. My father is black, my mother is white. So no matter what I did, attention was really on me all the time. I was really different from other people, and that made me feel bad about myself. And I think that's really what made me have social anxiety from really early on in life, and that it never really got better until I joined Toastmasters.
Speaking of which, then, what on earth made you decide to join Toastmasters if you were suffering from social anxiety? What possessed you? Like, was it by your own initiative?
Mm, Not really. So I found out about Toastmasters on Meetup and I joined the group and I told myself that I should go, but then I didn't. And then at work, my boss told me that I needed to speak more in meetings. And she told me that at the next meeting, when the boss is there, I'm gonna sit next to you and I'm gonna give you a little nudge, as I said in my speech. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. And she was like trying to help me. She was like, oh, when people are talking, even if you have nothing to say, like you can just say like, yes, I agree with you, good point. And I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Um, so I was like, okay, then I guess I joined Toastmasters. And I told her that I was gonna join Toastmasters, because if I didn't, then I would never have done it. So now that I have told one person, I didn't have a choice to do it. So I did join Toastmasters. The first meeting I attended, it was a special meeting. We were in the park and there was no speech. It was just like table topics and debates, and everybody was like, "Oh, do you want to participate?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And even like just the at the beginning of the meeting when you have to say like why you're there. Like that was just like awful to me. And I was like, I didn't realize that I had to talk. Like, what do I say? Like I was counting like everybody's was um all the other guests were talking, and I was like in my head like trying to come up with something. Okay, I'm gonna say this, like and that was just like awful. And at the end of the meeting, like, I had to say something else, and I was like, oh yes, I remember saying like, oh, I really liked it, but I didn't like it. I was like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back, but I didn't want to come back. But I still did come back because I told my boss that I was gonna do it. So I did. And it took a few meetings to be like, okay, that's it's not so bad.
It didn't kill you.
No.
Oh, you're here. Fun. Okay, thank you so much. It's so funny. Every single person I spoke to about this, most of them, I don't remember ever talking to somebody who did not freak out. Like even me, like, oh, tell us about yourself, Patricia. I was like, like what do you say? Like the panic, and then it was just a catastrophe. But anyway, we made it through this panic. So, all right. Katy, you are the founder of the Social Anxiety Antidote. I love the title. So you help individuals overcome their social anxiety, their isolation, and fear of communicating by coaching them. Can you tell us what prompted you to start helping these individuals? Like, I mean, you had social anxiety, you joined Toastmasters, all right, you got over that panic, but then you clearly decided to help others. And just can you explain this to us a little bit, please?
Yes. Again, it was Toastmasters that brought me to coaching because um, even though I joined Toastmasters to help me in my job, it didn't help. Um, I was not able to really, um, I was not allowed to speak more in meetings. Like I wanted to, but it didn't happen. So I was just like, okay, it's fine. I'm I'm gonna do something else. So I was trying to find another job. At first, I was like just looking in the same area that I was already doing, but then I was like, no, like, what's the point of just like changing to another company when I don't know if I'm gonna like it more there? Um, so I asked myself, like, okay, what kind of job could I do that I would love? And even if I was not getting paid, I would still do it. And then I thought about Toastmasters because in Toastmasters, you take on leadership roles and you're not getting paid. And I really liked the leadership part of Toastmasters. That was really what kept me going back each week when I was like VP head or president of a club. Like that was really fun for me. So I was like, that's something like that I want to do in my job. And then on Facebook, I just saw an ad for wellness coaching training. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting. Did a bit of research on that, and I was like, yeah, I love helping people. So that's just, I went for it.
Good thing that you did. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, you're such a good coach. Such a good coach, I have to say.
Thank you.
I love working with you. So great. Okay. Two of your speeches, I've seen a few of your speeches, but two of them really rendered me speechless. It was one of my club members, Alex McCurney, at the time, who I had done a speech. What's wrong with you? And he was telling me, who's really good at it? You have to go to Katy Morin. I go, you should watch your speech. So he sent me the link to your speech. Toastmasters ruined my life. Okay, I have to give it to you with the titles, Katy. You know how to catch a title. Okay, I'm not going to give any spoilers. Please do go watch that video. Make yourself happy. Go watch that video. And also how I killed my best friend. That one just killed me. Okay, it was so good. You're gifted. You're a gifted speaker, and just to know that you were a panicking, social anxious child, and that you could deliver those speeches, I was like, I had to watch it many times over I still had to, I rewatched it again recently. It was just, I never get tired of watching you speak. Sorry. Okay, I'm digressing here. So you actually won first place at the district level with the Toastmasters Rule My Life that you delivered in French in 2021. It's very, very recent. Can you tell us a little bit about what on earth made you decide to start competing?
So I'm not really a competitive person. I competed in a speech contest once before this time. I think I was in Toastmasters for a year and a half when I first competed in a speech contest, and I ended up being like fourth or fifth on. There was like only 5 people competing, and I didn't place in the first 3 positions. So I was like, oh, okay. And when you do a speech, like a regular speech in Toastmasters, you receive feedback. So you're like, oh, okay, I can do that. I can change it and make the speech better. But when it's a contest, you don't get any feedback because the judges are, anonymous, kind of. So that was like disappointing to me to just like, okay, I didn't win, but I don't know what I did wrong, or I don't know what I could improve. So that was just like my first experience in a speech contest, and I was like, okay. So after that, I continue helping organize contests. So I was not part of the contestant, but I was organizing contests and I really liked that. So I just continued doing that. But then last year I was like, oh, maybe why not? I could just participate in the contest. And I did. And I did my 2 speeches, one in French, one in English. And I remember that I procrastinated a lot to write my speeches. I was last minute. Like the speeches in English, I finish writing the last few things on the speech at 9 p.m. on a Friday, and the contest was the next day at 9 a.m. So I don't recommend that, but it worked. As I said, I'm not really a competitive person, not against other people, but with myself a little bit. So this time, when I decided to participate in the contest, I just wanted to do better than I did last time. So I was like, maybe I can do, like, I wasn't even like, I want to be first place, I want to win. I was just like, maybe second place, third place, just to do better than I did last time. And yeah.
I just joined Toastmasters in May 2021, and I'm just not there yet. People ask me, why don't you compete? I said, you know what, give me some time. This YouTube channel is taking up a lot of my energy. I don't have time to prepare my speeches, so it's delaying my pathways, but it's all worth it because I get to meet people like you. I have some people in my life that will remain nameless, people I love very much, that suffer from social anxiety. 2 young girls that I know of. And I would like to ask you right now, if one of our audience member or those young ladies that I know and that I love very much with all my heart, if they're sitting in front of their camera right now and they're listening to you and they're suffering from severe social anxiety, what can you tell them that would help them take a first step towards healing?
I would say to realize that they are not alone, that a lot of people suffer from social anxiety. So the first step, it's the hardest, but it's to reach out, either to someone like me who's doing coaching and can help people. I also have a mastermind group, and it's free and it's for people who have social anxiety. So you can just join whenever you want. And each week we have meetings and we people suggest topics that we can talk about. So it can be like negative self-talk or things like that related to social anxiety. So people join and we talk about that. And I found that it's really helpful for people who have social anxiety because you can realize that you're not alone. You know, some people will say something and other people will say, "Oh, that I didn't realize that I'm not alone. Like other people are going through the same thing that I'm going through." So I know it's not easy to join something like that. Even in the group, sometimes people are their cameras are not open and they don't want to talk, but just listening can be really helpful just to begin with.
Oh, I love this so much. It reminds me of all those different groups like AA or
Hmm.
so many different groups, and there is power in community. And I realized that over the last few years because I joined many different groups, and it's just it's so empowering to know that you're not alone, because that's the
Hmm.
problem. They think that they're alone and they just stay within their feelings. So thank you so much. I will be adding everything that is discussed here. We'll be adding in the description below if you want to get the coordinates. Katy, if you can give advice to a Toastmaster that has been hesitating to participate in a contest by fear of humiliation, like I guess myself, that's the reason why I think I'm not there, because I'm just traumatized of completely making a fool of myself. What would it be? What would you tell me or the other Toastmasters that just don't feel ready to start competing?
I would say that go for it. Even if you're afraid, just go for it. I don't think that I understand why you would feel like you're afraid of being humiliated, but that's not gonna happen. You know, it's just a contest. Um, I know that's easy to say, but um, I feel like you don't have to think that uh, you're competing against other people, that you just need to do it for yourself and just try to do the best speech that you can.
Hmm.
And even if you don't win, that's, you know, that you're not going to be humiliated. Like people that don't participate in contests are gonna look up at you and say, "Wow, that's she's really brave for doing that." Even if you don't win, it's still gonna be a great learning opportunity. And
To be honest, because I'm a very competitive person by default, but I would never. First of all, I'm brand new. Like I barely knew how to speak in May. Like honestly, I couldn't make a proper sentence. So I if I would have the courage to join a competition, I would not I would never it would never even occur to me that I would win first place. You understand? I would just go and hope I don't fall on my face and make a fool of myself. That's pretty much, or like completely lose my words because I memorized it or instead of internalizing it. I think it's more that not I'm not trying to win. I just got started. Like I understand there's a long way to go. But I like that. It's just to try to improve and learn from the experience. Okay.
yeah, and just
Mhm.
try to see it that just another speech that you're doing in your club. You know?
You make it sound so simple. I'm gonna sign up.
Yes.
All right, everybody, sign up for a speech contest. Okay, so what's next? What's the next step for Katy Morin now?
So now I just finished my training as a hypnotherapist. So that was really interesting, and I'm gonna incorporate that in my business now. Um, so that's what I'm looking forward in the future to do more of that. I think that's a great way for people to get to the root cause of social anxiety. So it's even more powerful than coaching, but I'm gonna incorporate the two and do like hypnosis session and then coaching session to go even deeper. So yeah.
That sounds fascinating because
Mhm.
a lot of this is goes back to the subconscious mind, right? So this is
Yeah.
sounds very exciting. I'll be giving you a call for that. Okay. If someone in the audience would like to reach out to you to finally take the first step to overcome their social anxiety, how can they reach you, Katy?
So I have two websites. I have socialanxietyantidote.com and Katy Morin Coaching. They can go on both sides, and they can book a free call to just talk to me. I know it's not easy, but if people are ready to do that, they can just book a call and we can talk and see how I can help them. And I'm also on coach.me, and they can chat there with me if they're not ready to go on video and camera and everything. It's just chatting. That's another great way to take the first step.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Well, any final words for the audience, Katy?
I would say that if I was able to overcome social anxiety, everybody can. So just take the first step, and if you want to talk to me, I will be there to help you on your journey.
Oh, excellent. So at home, I hope you enjoyed this half as much as I enjoyed hearing Katy. Just as a recap, Katy helps individuals who suffer from social anxiety to overcome loneliness and their fear of communicating with others by showing them how to improve their communication in their interpersonal and professional relationships, and so that they could finally have the social life and the career that they want, so that they can step into their destiny. So great. And thank you so much, Katy. It was wonderful to have you. And I cannot wait to see what's next for you. So we'll be in touch. And at home, I will leave you with this: the power of your voice can change the world. Find it and use it. Until next time. Bye.